Well, this time of year, many of us are expecting sky-high prices at the pump because it's summer and plenty of people are traveling. In fact, according to AAA, July is a month with the highest gas prices recorded all year. But how much can you expect to pay at the pump here on Delmarva? Well, nationally, gas will cost you around $2.75 per gallon. Here on Delmarva, it's around the same. The lowest price is in Virginia, where gas is about $2.58 per gallon. In Maryland, gas is right on par with the national price at $2.75 per gallon. And in Delaware, gas is sitting at about $2.67 a gallon.
Now, gas prices may be a little on the high side at the pump, especially the past few weeks with the big holiday. But this year's crude oil prices are low, and that combination is causing some consumer groups some concern. They're saying something just doesn't add up.
This summer, you may not be suffering from sticker shock as high seasonal gas prices have become status quo. But consumer advocates say this year, high prices are actually unprecedented because the price of crude oil is so low. Consumer watchdog's Jamie Court says oil companies are using market manipulation to artificially inflate gas prices this summer.
The oil refiners are charging their branded gasoline stations 30 cents more than they are charging to unbranded stations.
Something he alleges violates federal antitrust laws that require companies to charge similar prices for similar products. And by charging their own gas stations more, Jamie says all stations end up charging more. When confronted with the fact that this is the longest a 30-cent price gap has ever been in effect between branded and unbranded gas, the Energy Commission's Gordon Shrimp had this to say.
Like I said, I haven't had a chance to look at that specifically.
But Gordon says branded prices are normally higher than unbranded, though not this high for this long. But he blames refinery outages for the higher prices.
Well, I think the ExxonMobil explosion back in the middle of February, that was a very significant outage for a refinery that was unplanned.
Right.
But Watchdog points to Energy Commission data from the same month that shows refineries also exported 32,000 more barrels of gas overseas this February than last, gas that could have been used to keep prices lower. Information presented at this commission meeting investigating gas price manipulation. And while exporting gas is legal, Jamie contends this summer's high prices are not.
Consumer Watchdog is calling on the AG to investigate. Meanwhile, the industry calls the accusation inflammatory and inaccurate and points out that it's been the subject of dozens of investigations over the past few decades, and none found evidence of anti-competitive conduct.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, as you know, the debate over gas prices is nothing new, but gas is something we need in order to get around, not only on the roads, but in the air too. That's why some companies are hard at work trying to come up with a plan B for those high fuel prices. Now, one idea in particular is proving to be not only cost-effective, but green too. And the company that's running with the idea is learning quickly that one man's trash is another man's treasure.
One company is flying high after United Airlines signed a deal to invest in its alternative fuels.
We take garbage right out of the garbage can and process out the non-organic materials and turns it into the fuel, just the same molecules as it's in fossil oil.
Jim Macias of Fulcrum Bioenergy signed a deal with United Airlines to start using his garbage-based fuel, all around better for the environment.
It's an 80% reduction in carbon while you're also diverting landfill waste, so it's a great message for our customers.
The company takes the garbage, squeezes it down to a gas, then into liquid form. That's not new.
And new fuels and biofuels, and this has been a subject going on for a long time, and people have been working on it for a long time.
But at one aviation museum, this kind of announcement, a surprise to many in the airline industry, is taken with a bit of a gee whiz enthusiasm.
I think it's ultimately a game changer if it can make the cost of fuels come down.
Fuel is one of the top costs, if not the top costs for airlines, and this new fuel is said to be very competitive now. If it's mass-produced, the price would likely go down. Environmentalists like it very much, too.
What are you doing, Doc? I need fuel.
Doc Brown from Back to the Future would, too. He was among the first to use garbage for fuel.
Now, you may be wondering just how much of this alternative fuel can be produced. Fulcrum Bioenergy hopes to produce up to 180 million gallons every year.
Okay, it is a fascinating idea. But it isn't the first time we've heard of turning trash into something quite valuable. You probably remember when we told you about Delaware Electric Cooperative using the same concept, but turning the trash into electricity. More specifically, the co-op is using the methane gas that's produced in the decomposing process. As of last June, the electricity was able to power 1,000 co-op homes. By turning the gas into energy, carbon emissions from the landfill have dropped dramatically.
Well, something that doesn't seem to be dropping, the number of scams we keep hearing about. It seems like there's a new one all the time. But there's a new way to track scams. We'll learn all about it coming up.
We're also going to learn how technology is helping thieves when it comes to getting inside your car. Imagine they access your car remote even if it's inside your house. You have got to hear how and what you can do to stop it.
Plus, how you can stop luggage thieves in their tracks, what you need to know to make sure you and your bags arrive at your vacation getaway safely. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.